this section will be more practical and interactive. So we'll do taping. So I will give you some basic background information. Then we'll start the practical section. I've prepared some demonstration in my mind, basically mainly knee and ankle. But of course, if you want me to show you other body part, if we have time, we can go through that. I've got some instruction that we mainly use the rigid tape, but of course I've brought some KT tape, the kinesio tape, which is a more elastic one. I think is more popular nowadays as compared to the rigid tape. But of course their function will be different. If you want me to show you some of the application of the KT tape, I can do that. But I will show you some of the application of the rigid tape first. If we have time, we'll go through some KT tape. Because for the KT tape, for the application, you need to go through a course, like a 3 days course that Ella can offer you the course. So I don't think I have time to go through all the application of the KT, but I can show you some simple one if we've got time. But we'll go through the rigid tape first. I think all of you have experience on applying tapes or taping to yourself and your athletes. Do you? Yes? No? Okay, so this is the content of today. So this is the purpose of the taping. Dr. Simon Young has talked about the principle of handling acute injury. So one of the part that is the protection. So one of the means of protection would be applying taping. Of course, there is a lot of means of protection, say for example, splints, brace, or even some POP. So taping is one of the means of applying protection to the injured part. After the acute phase, when they go back to their sports, they still feel vulnerable of injury for the injured side or painful side. So we can apply some taping, so to give them some protection or support to the injured side. And other than the rigid tape, we got some elastic tape, which is less supportive but more facilitating the normal function or normal muscle action of the movement. And of course, at the last, when they fully return to sport, but they still feel that they're not that confident in putting weight or using that injured body part, then we can put some tape for them. Then they can be more confident in using their injured body part. So this is the summary of the effect of the taping on the athletes or on the injured body part. So there are 3 main effects from the taping. So mechanical effects, which is easily understood. So they can reduce the strain on the injured body part because the tape can take off the loading on the injured body part rather than the stress is being put into the injured body part. The second mechanical effect is to reduce the edema or swelling, basically by putting compression. So one of the principles of handling the acute injury. So the compression can be put onto the body part, injured body part, so that the exudate won't come out that easily. So this is the second mechanical effect of the taping. The third mechanical effect of the taping is to improve the joint stability by basically using the rigid tape. So we can have some practical section on that. And the next effect of the taping is the neuromuscular effect, because when we do some action, we actually need the nerve to give signal to the muscle. Okay, one of the effects of the tape is to interfere with the signal that your muscle can get. So basically, that would come from the KT tape, the elastic tape kind of tape, which can facilitate or inhibit the muscle action, actually. So this is one of the neuromuscular effects of the taping. And enhance the proprioception. Proprioception is the sense of the joint that gives to your brain, so that you can be more aware of what your joint is in, the position, and how your joint is moving. So this is the proprioception. And the last one is the psychological effect. It enhances the athlete's confidence, so that they can be more confident in using the injured body part, so that they won't avoid putting weight or using the injured body part. Because if they are not confident in putting weight or using the injured body part, there may be compensating movement pattern, which would eventually result in secondary injury of the other body part. So the psychological effects is also important. Okay, so this is the effect of the taping techniques. So after talking about the background information or the basic principle, I will introduce the different kinds of taping. So basically, there's 3 kinds of taping materials. So the first kind is rigid taping. So I think you're all familiar with rigid taping? Yes? So they don't have any elasticity. They're quite rigid. Okay? So they come in different materials, but they are all rigid and non-elastic. And they come in all different thickness, all different width, because our body part is different in size. So for the bigger body part, like knees, ankles, or even hip, we use a more wide kind of tape. If you use it for fingers, wrist, hand, we use thinner tape, so more narrow. So this is the rigid tape. And the second type is the elastic tape. So there's several kinds of elastic tape. So elastic tape means that the elasticity is quite good. So you stretch it and it will recall. So this is one of the elastic tape. And for the elastic tape, they got basically 2 types. They got self-adhesive and cohesive. So cohesive means that there is no glue underneath the tape. So they're sticking together by itself without the glue. So but some of them, there is elastic, then they got glue, so they can stick on your skin. They can stick on your skin. So because for some athletes, their skin is quite sensitive. So not only to the material of the taping, they are sensitive to the glue itself. So if their skin is sensitive to the glue itself, so one of the solutions would be using those tape without the glue. Or we can put some underwrap, I'll show you later, so that there is a thin layer of foam in between the tapes and the skin, so that they won't get direct contact with the tapes to avoid the allergy. Okay, yes. And the last type of taping is kinesio taping. So I think there's different brand in the market, but but I stick on the original one, the kinesio tape. We can there is a lot of application for the kinesio tape. For the more details one, you can attend the course held by Ella, so that you can learn more for the kinesio tape. Okay. Okay, so we come to the demonstration now. We start with the most common one, the knee, ankle, elbow, wrist, and thumb. I'm not sure if we got enough time to complete all the demonstration, but we'll start with the more common one first. We'll start with the knee. So for the contact sports, for the knee one, what do you come across is the most common knee injury, which requires taping? ACL. I will show you the ACL. The taping for the ACL post reconstruction, or any athletes who got an ACL deficit but didn't go for surgery, but they want to go back to the sports. So we want to put some taping to protect the knee to reduce the stress on the ACL. Okay. So all of you know the ACL, the function of the ACL. Do you? To prevent the tibia from going anteriorly translate as compared to the femur, right? So we want to pull the tibia, avoid the tibia from going forward as compared to the femur, okay? So, but I need a volunteer to, preferably with shorts. Yes? Yeah, you got ACL injury? Oh, yes? Okay, please. Do you got shorts or? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, okay. Huh? Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Which knee? Right. The right side. Okay. 出嚟係啊。And then 呢條褲 roll 唔 roll 到？ Oh, good. So, very good. No hair. So, because for if for the, especially for the male athletes, if they are hairy, sometimes you need to shave it to get a better results. Because with the hair, the tape won't stay well, and the taping won't last long. So that comes off easily, which is not good, because it's so embarrassing. The athlete is running on the pitch and then the tape comes off. First of all, it's not safe for the knee. Second, it's not good. Okay, so this is the underwrap. So it's basically a very thin layer of foam that can wrap around the body part that you want to tape. The advantage is that it can prevent the glue from sticking directly onto the skin, so that it can prevent the allergy. But the bad thing is that it actually won't allow the glue to stick on the skin so firmly. So sometimes the athlete won't feel that supportive with the underwrap on. So you can consider whether use it or not use it. And it also depends on the feeling of the athletes. And other thing I want to show you is that the skin prep. Sometimes for, especially in Hong Kong, the weather is sometimes very humid. If you don't put on the skin prep, sometimes the tape would come off easily. So there's different kind. This brand is called Skin Prep, but actually there's a lot of brands that do the same work. So this is like kind of a glue that will increase the strength that the tape stay on the skin, and it actually works as a layer that protects the skin from directly touching the glue. So it's actually good for the. So when you put it on, after you put it on, so you don't put on the tape straight away. So you you need it to dry a little bit until you can feel that it becomes a little bit sticky. So it's still not dry enough. So you put it on first, and then you let it stay for a while, okay? So when we tape the ACL, we want the athlete to stand, okay? So you stand here, and just let me untie it. Okay, stand. When we want to tape the ACL, we want to prevent the tibia from getting forward too much, okay? So, however, we don't want to tape the knee in a fully extended position, because if you tape it in the fully extended position, he or she may have difficulty in bending the knee, which is not functional when they do their sports. So we want them to bend the knee slightly. So sometimes we want them to step on a small roll of tape so that maybe you face that way so that they can see the knee. Yes, that's it. Yeah, better. Okay, so I will show you without the under wrap this time. Okay, so so basically we do 2 anchor. So this kind of tape is, you can tear it without using the scissors, okay? So we do the anchor first. So mid shin. So I prefer not do the anchor with a complete circle. So I do some without like completely overlap each other, okay? So, and then the upper one would be like mid-thigh, would be ideally better with, yeah, up there. Okay, and the next step, so the anchor is allow the tape to pull it on, okay? So this is the effective one. So we try to stop the tibia from going forward, right? So we try to put the tape from the midpoint of the tibia to the midpoint of the posterior thigh. So it's like diagonally from the midpoint of the front part of the shin to the midpoint of the back part of your thigh. Okay, so we estimate the length and then tear off. Okay, for me, I would do it from the front to the back because I want to exert a force that is pushing the tibia back, right? So I put it here and then pull it a little bit to the back of the thigh, like this. Of course, for some very fragile skin, you may put some under wrap at the back of the knee, because when you take the tapes off, it may hurt the skin. So for some very fragile skin, you may want to put some under wrap first before putting the. After I finish the first part, I will ask her to turn around so that you see what happened at the back. Okay, so we do it both sides. So. Okay. Okay, so we do it from the front to the back. Okay, the next part, same, from the front to the back. So this time I do it from the midpoint of the thigh to the midpoint of the calf, okay? So like this. So sometimes one time is not enough. So you may want to do twice or 3 times. It depends on how secure you want. If you want it to be very rigid and stable, you may do 3 times. Otherwise, I think 2 times is enough. Okay, so how do you know if you are doing it correctly? Basically, if you can see a diamond in the front, then you got it right. So this is how I do it for the ACL injury, okay? So basically, if you finish it, you can see a diamond in the front, then you got it correct. So of course, for every taping, after you finish, you need to ask how the athlete feels. Ask her to walk around or even jog a bit, depends on which sport. See if it's too tight, because sometimes you need to adjust. Even for me, I've done so many times of taping. Because every athlete is different. So if you can do it for her, maybe the other athletes will feel it uncomfortable, too tight or not tight enough. So you need to always ask them to try to do what they need to do after you finish your taping, and you always need to adjust. Okay, so this is for the ACL. For many cases, if they got ACL injury, they may come along with the MCL. So I would apply the MCL at the same time. Okay, how do you feel? Is it tight enough or is pulling?
Thigh is a little bit tight.
Yeah.
But
Calf is okay, right. So sometimes for a very, just put it on. Yeah, sometimes if it's too tight, I would just put something like this. Then she will feel okay. Try again. So always need to. Which sports are you doing?
I was doing triple jump, but no
yeah.
more.
Feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes a very tiny adjustment is that you tear a bit at the edge, then she will feel better. Okay. So this is for the ACL, okay? And then we'll do the one for the MCL too. So maybe facing me so that they can see your. So MCL is the medial collateral ligament on the inner side of your knee. So when you injure your ACL like this, so that will always come with the MCL injury sometimes. So I will show the MCL at the same time. So MCL is here, somewhere here, okay? So we'll do it like this. So we'll put it a straight eye down to the top like this, okay? And then we'll do a cross, okay? So we want the intersection point at the MCL, Okay, so MCL here is here, around here. Okay, so we put the strip one, and then we put a cross and the intersection point at the MCL. I would put it, I mean the strip one doesn't matter, but for the cross one, I will put it from the inside to outside. Because we don't want the knee from going inwards like this, so we want to apply a force that pull the knee out, right? So I want to put it from the inside to the outside, okay? So from down here to the outside here, okay? So from the upper to the down, to down here, so it's inside to outside. So I always apply from the inside to the outside, like this, okay? So I will ask them to try before I apply to the second layer, because sometimes first layer is enough. Okay, so ask them to try to roll the knee inward. So if it can stop it from doing that, then maybe it's enough. If she still can feel that it's not very stable, then we may need to apply the second layer, the same direction, from down to upper, and from the inner to the outer side. Is it enough? Do you think it stopped you from rolling your knee in? Yeah, so you can always adjust, okay? And always ask the athlete how they feel. Because for different sports, the demand will be different, okay? So maybe, for example, for the contact sports like the rugby player, basketball, football, so they may want it to be more rigid and more stable. But for like athletes like maybe track and field athletes, that they don't need to contact with the other players, so maybe they don't want it to be supportive. They want it to be supportive enough, but not that rigid. So it all depends on the needs of the sports and the needs of the athletes. Try again. Now it's more support, right? So you always need to ask the athlete how they feel and try the movement that they will need in their sports, okay? So this is how you apply the taping for the ACL and MCL, okay? Yeah, any questions? Anything that you want to ask before I go to the ankle part? Yeah, yeah.哦，唔該晒。你使唔使要點 remove 啊？定係你就咁 make？你想唔想 keep 啊個 taping？定係你唔想？好啊，咁你 keep 住先，你可以除落對鞋。
sorry， 如果係好似軟骨嗰啲磨損嗰啲，係咪唔應該用 tapping？ 係直情應該用 supportive 嘅嘢箍？
邊個位置嘅軟骨先？膝頭哥嘅軟骨，即係 meniscus 嗰啲、半月板嗰啲。唔係話唔應該嘅，但係其實可能未必會幫到好多咯。又或者係其實你睇下你個軟骨嗰個磨損喺邊個位？你講 meniscus 定係嗰個 knee cap 下邊嗰啲軟骨先？係又唔同嘅喎，係啊。即係兩嚿骨中間，即係半月板嗰啲，半月板嗰啲就可能未必 taping 未必幫到好多咯，但係可能可以都 unload 到少少嘅，係啦。但係如果你話可能 knee cap 下邊嗰啲軟骨嘅磨損，就可能可以透過 taping 咧，即係可能唔係 rigid taping 啦，可能係真係KT 啦，即係彈性嗰隻啦。咁佢可能就可以將你嗰個 knee cap 嗰個 tracking， 即係嗰個行走嘅位置咧，可以擺翻正啲嘅時候，咁佢就唔會咁容易磨到下邊嗰啲軟骨咧，咁佢就可能會減輕少少嗰個痛咯，係啦，咁樣。 Okay, any question about the knees? If not, then we go to the ankle. And also, also when they remove the tape, actually they can have some kind of things that to remove the tape. Because if they remove the tape so vigorously, then they may have some like cuts on the skin that can't allow you to apply the tape for the next day, which is important because if you can't apply the tape for the next day, then they may have problem too. So when you remove the tape, always remove it like this. I'll show you. So if the tape is like this on your skin, so don't pull it out like this. Okay, so always like roll like this. Okay, so don't pull on the skin and then take it off like this. Okay, so always roll on it like this, or even you put some baby oil on it. Okay, before you would take it off, or there's some kind of things called remove. So soak the tape on in the remove or the baby oil before you remove it. It's better for the skin. Okay. Okay, then we will we'll move on to the ankle. Okay, so after you put the rigid tape on, sometimes I will put some sticky elastic tape on it, okay, to prevent it from coming off, because it's humid and if the athlete is sweaty, sometimes if the tape get wet, then it will come off easily. So I sometimes put it on top of the rigid tape to prevent it from getting off easily. Okay, so this is for the covering. And ankle, the other very common injuries for the lower limbs is ankle, right? So anyone want to be volunteer for the ankle taping? I think it's very common. Yeah? No? Ankle? Any ankle taping? No? You want to see it rather than to be the volunteer, right? Okay? Hey, yeah, please. Do you twist your ankle before? Do you roll on it? Which one? Oh, okay. So pop your shoes off, please. Shoes and ankle. I mean shoes your socks. Shoes and socks. Yes. Yes, please. Thank you. Okay, I want you to sit here. Face over here. Yes. Yes. Just one. This one you can pull it like this so that it's better for your back. Okay. So just sit back a little bit. Yes, too much. Yeah, it's enough. Yes. So so when they roll the ankle, of course there's a lot of way of rolling the ankle. Sometimes in a weird way, but most of the time is rolling it inward like this, right? So you will hurt the ligaments on the outer side of the ankle here, right? Yes. Okay. So what we want to do is stop the ankle from going inwards like this, okay? So we apply the taping. We want to put the ankle in neutral before we apply the taping. If the ankle is like this, even if you apply the taping is not strong enough to stop the ankle from rolling inward. So before applying the taping, you need to ask the athletes to help to keep their ankle put it in neutral before you apply the taping like this. So keep it like this when I apply the taping and relax after I finish. Okay. So yeah, for some athlete like her, you can see the tendon here is very prominent. Yeah, you're a very good example of. If for this case, you may want to protect the tendon. you may need to put some extra things to protect the tendon, because otherwise, after you put the taping on, and she keep doing this kind of thing when she runs, then it will rub on the tendon, and it will be quite uncomfortable, and it may create blister on the tendon, okay? So you may need to put some Duoderm, or this is Duoderm, it's like or even second skin. So kind of product that on the market that you can get. So you may want to protect the tendon from rubbing onto the tape. So like this, okay? So you may not want to protect the tendon from rubbing on the tape. So this time I can also apply the under wrap. So actually no specific techniques. So just wrap it to where that the tape may touch the skin, so that her skin will be protected from touching the tape directly. Okay, so move down a little bit. Okay, so where to put the anchor is to put it at, for me, I will put it at the level of musculotendinous junction of the calf muscle. So same anchor, I won't put it into a closed circle, so don't overlap each other. Okay, for the other anchor, put it at the midfoot to forefoot part there. Okay, so I will do a standard ankle taping to prevent ankle sprain, but you can always modify. You don't need to apply all the things, because sometimes if she is not that serious, or she don't want that much limitation for the ankle movement, then you will try to take away some of the taping, okay? So the first one is what we call the stirrup, okay? Stirrup is from the inner side to the outer side. It's like a ladder of U, okay? Like this, okay? So we want to cover the malleolus, 嗰個腳眼位 malleolus. So, so the middle one is like this, and then we apply the second one a little bit backward. Like this, and then we apply the third one a little bit forward. So you can adjust, and you can modify. If you don't want it to be too rigid and too stable, then you can just use one or two U shape, okay? So this is the stirrup, okay? So for the standard one, they use horseshoes, but I always omit this one. Of course, it got its function, but you can always modify, because for the standard one, they use 3 times horseshoes before they go to the next one. So I will still apply it. So this is the horseshoes. Okay, and then after the stirrup, we go to the heel lock. So heel lock, we got heel lock on the outer side and the inner side. So for the heel lock, for an easier way to do is that you pull a length of the tape like this, okay? And then you pull it diagonally at the ankle like this, so that it forms a little right-angled triangle at the heel. So it's easier for you, because otherwise it's very difficult for you to imagine how the tape goes. So I will just pull it like this. Okay, so there's a triangle, right-angled triangle at the heel, right? And then I will just pull it like this. And then it's easy. Okay, so I pull it at the ankle first, and then you do it like this. Same for the inner side, okay? So this is the heel lock, okay? For someone who wants more stability or want it to be more supportive, you may do reverse figure of 6, okay? So reverse figure of 6 is, so the aerobic figure of 6 is like from the top to the end like this, but then we do it in the other way. So we start from here, going here, and up like this, okay? Okay, so this is the reverse figure of 6. For some people, they will do the figure of 8 too. But for me, I think figure of 8 will somehow limit the range of movement of plantar flexion. Because if you do the figure of 6, it will pull your ankle up like this. But it's sometimes, for some athletes, they want it really. So the figure of 8 is like, it's actually easy. And then you do it down there. But sometimes it may pull it too much. It all depends how the athlete feels. And you can always test. So before she can roll in like this, but now she can't, so it probably will be enough, okay? So after doing all this, you finish up with this, okay? So after you do your taping, I forgot to, after you do your taping, you always check the circulation, okay? You check the nail. So you press onto the nail, and then you release the pressure, then when you press on the nail, then the nail should turn white because you squeeze the butt out. But then when you release the pressure, the blood should circulate within like 1 second. So if you press it, it turns right, and you release the pressure, and if it doesn't turn red again, then that means the taping is too tight, that you may need to actually loosen up a little bit. Okay, so the next thing is always after the application of the tape, you need to ask the athlete to try. So to get down and try to walk around and see how you feel. Is it too tight and is it stable enough? Especially if they are doing like racket sports that need a lot of sideway movement, ask them to do the exact movement that they need in their sport. Yeah, you feel more stable, right? Yes, yes. So this is for the ankle taping, right? Do you want to keep it or you want to take it off? You want to take it off? Yes. Yeah. For taking, we can show you the technique of taking off the taping too. Okay. So when you take off your tape, so you always pull it like this. Okay, so don't pull it like this. It's better for her because I put under wrap for her, so it's easier to remove the tape. So to remove the tape, don't pull it like perpendicular to the skin. So pull it like parallel to the skin like this, okay? So there's some kind, when you take the tape off, be careful, don't touch the skin. Okay, there's some kind of specially designed scissors for taking the tape. I think you all know about it, but I don't have it today, but it's actually easy, so just make sure don't pull the tape perpendicular to the skin, okay? So just take it off. Sometimes if for her it's better, but otherwise you can actually use the remove. So remove is used like this. You just soak the tape with the remove, then it will be easier for the tape to come off, okay? Like this, okay? And then you can always take this off, okay? And for some other sports, I think you are experienced enough. Because for some other sports, they may need to hold the tape firmly during the match. So you may also use electrical tape for securing the tape onto the skin. Say for the rugby, for the football player, they always use the electrical tape for holding the tape in place. Okay. But for other sports, I think just putting another layer of elastic tape on top will be enough. And also you need to check the requirement of the sports. I mean, for some sports, say for gymnastics, they always need to use, especially for female gymnasts, they always need the tape of beige color. If you put on tape that is in white color, and I mean during the competition, their mark will be deducted. Okay, so there's always rules in different kind of sports. Say for example, in swimmers, if they want to wear tape during the competition, you need to get exemption from the doctors. So you need to always check before you apply taping for the athletes. Okay, so done. Okay, so it's all done. So it's easier to take it off with the tape. Okay, I mean with the under wrap. Okay. So this is how the second skin or the duoderm work. So it's kind of artificial layer of skin to protect the prominent tendon before you apply the tape. Okay. So this is the demonstration for the ankle. Okay. So I don't think we got enough time for the other part. Okay. I'll just quickly go through the PowerPoint that I've prepared, but that's not much. So this is some of the remarks that we want to consider before putting on the tape. So beware of the skin condition. If there's any open wound, cover the wound first. And yeah, for the prominent tendon part, you want to cover the tendon before you put the tapes on. And you always need to modify your technique. So don't just stick on what you learn from the textbook, because different kind of sports have different demand, and for different athletes, they got different demand. Okay, so always communicate with the athletes. Okay, ensure the normal circulation after applying the tape. That's what I said. Always check the nail after you apply the tape to make sure the circulation is good. And yeah, proper way of removing the tape so that your skin will be in good condition for the next application of the tape. All right, so any question for my part?
好，多謝晒 Bonnie 嘅分享，大家俾啲掌聲 Bonnie 先，係啦。咁嗱 Bonnie 其實咧自2009年起咧就已經喺體院任職啦，並且跟隨呢個港隊多次征戰奧運會、亞運會同埋唔同類型嘅國際綜合運動會嘅。咁想睇下台下會唔會有問題想發問都可以舉手嘅。好，呢度可唔可以 pass 個咪，同事唔該。
Hi, just one question about the taping technique, because sometimes when we tape it, we may accidentally tape it too tightly,
yes.
and then we need to start all over again,
yes.
which is time consuming. So I was wondering if there's a cue or technique we can do to prevent us from taping the athlete too tightly.
I think, as I mentioned, when you put on the anchor, especially anchor, always don't do a complete circle. So don't always overlap too much. And that is the first part. And the second part is always need to communicate with the athletes. Because sometimes if you think it's not that tight, but actually when he or she step on, that will be very tight. And always, say for example, for if you want to tape the elbow, so you always want them to contract the muscle, like the bicep. Because when you type it in a relaxed position, the muscle won't be bulging up, right? So you always want them to contract the muscle so that you can estimate how, when they use the arm, when they contract the muscle, how tight it will become. Okay, that's one. But always, I think it would be a trial and error process. So don't always put on the tape. Put the tape on the first time before the real competition. Always trial during the training. Right. So this is my little tips. Yeah.
Thank you.
好，唔該晒 Bonnie 嘅回應。咁我手頭上仲有一條問題嘅，咁啦就係喺 slide 度上有參加者問啦。Can you share any tips or tricks for maximizing the durability of sports tape during athletic activities?
Yes, very good.
Thank you.
Very good question. Because as what I mentioned is so embarrassing that during the competition that the tapes comes off, especially when there's live broadcasting, right? Shaving. If the legs or arm is too hairy, shave it before you apply tape, and put the skin prep. There's lots of brand of skin prep. So this is one kind of it. The other kind is the spraying. Okay, and yeah, that's it. And cover it with an other layer of elastic tape, or even with the electric tape after you apply your real taping. Okay, this is. And for the KT, you may need to apply it hours before they go for the training or competition. For rigid tape, that doesn't matter, but for the KT tape, because they need some time to stick on the skin, so apply like at least 2 hours before they go for the training. If you apply it strict. If you apply it and then they go for the competition or training straight away, it may last. It may not be that long lasting. Yeah, this is my question, my answer. Yeah.
好，唔該晒 Bonnie 嘅回應。咁啦，請大家俾多一次掌聲俾 Bonnie 嘅。咁啦，亦都有請係啦，我哋而家咧就會致送呢一個感謝狀俾 Bonnie。好，唔該晒。
我除咗呢個。
好，唔該晒兩位。咁啦，今日嘅 Sports Injury Seminar 已經圓滿結束。咁啦，離開之前請大家 scan 一 scan 熒光幕上邊嘅 QR code， 可以花1分鐘時間填妥今日嘅活動問卷。離開嘅時候請咁多位參加者喺門外簽走。咁我哋工作人員會按照翻記錄喺下星期寄送證書俾咁多位嘅體育總會同埋機構。多謝大家出席今日嘅研討會。